When your customers are so unhappy with your product that they're actually sending you claims to get their money back, you have got more than one problem to solve. So let's see how you get that into your analysis at least. Hello, I'm Tom. Welcome to my channel where we talk about continuous improvement in an industrial setting. And this video is about claims, where your customer is so unhappy with your product because it's not up to specs that they just want their money back, or at least they want a replacement product. And you, of course, will have to deal with your customers and you have to give them a good new product. But there's a second thing, and that is something went wrong in your quality system. So let's unpack those two and how to check for this and how to account for this within a material and quality loss deployment, because it has a bit of a special role here. So first off, when we're doing a material and quality losses analysis, we have our 5 wastes. So you have your overusage, scrap, process scrap, you have defects, off-spec, and then you have claims. So this is the last category of those losses. And a claim is when your customer has already received the product but is not happy with it and they want their money back, or they want part of the money back, or an extra delivery of goods. Anyway, they want to be compensated and get a good product. As of course they should, our customer is king. But that the customer is telling us also means that we didn't see it in time. We didn't scrap the product early on, it didn't end up in a waste bin, we didn't even sell it knowing that it was of poor quality and send that with our product to a specific customer who is, well, sort of okay with it, or who already got a discount or at least a heads up. No, we have a customer who found out without any warning. So that means that next to the customer not being happy, we have a quality system that didn't work. So this is why when we do a loss analysis, taking claims into account, for the claim itself, so to say, we have 2 costs. They belong to our customer not being happy and wanting something of a replacement. So the claim is going to cost us money, either direct money or a replacement product, but we lost the stuff we sold and we'll probably even have to make it up to this client. But the other thing is that we get a lot of handling cost. I mean, the claim has to come in, has to be handled. We need to formulate a nice and good answer to our customer. We also need to make sure that this next batch is sent without any problem. So when you get a claim, in practice there's always a lot of extra handling time. It is outside of all our normal processes. So having claims is not only just bad because something went wrong, it will also disturb your process at that moment, which might lead to more variation, more problems within your process. So we've got quite a lot of costs coming from a claim, more than when we have just a defect. Now also, it was a defect basically, right? So when you get a claim and you then push it into your improvement program, you want to know where did it originate and add it to the mix of defects and off-specs that you see from that same line, probably with a bit higher weight, because usually a claim, so for somebody to put in a claim, probably a number of other customers got the same problem and may have sort of accepted it but were not very happy about it. So give it a weighing factor of something like 5 or 10 times as important as the defects that you yourself have found, but put it into the mix and say that process, that machine made defects. But also with claims we have a second problem, and that is the customer told us our own quality system should have seen that this product is not up to specs. We should have made the choice to send it away as waste, or maybe to some other customer. This is something you want to know about your own production. So in your quality system, it is not detected. And that means that we have work to do, because maybe more hidden defects are in our processes and we are taking off more customers, maybe losing market also for this. But when we don't know where our defects are, when, which product, what type of defects we have, it's almost impossible to improve our processes. So as soon as you see a rise in claims, you also know that you have to improve your quality system and make sure that you see where you make the defects, where the problem processes in your operation are. And this is something to also take into account when you're doing a quality loss deployment. So, well, you've got your claim costs, you've got your handling costs, but you also have a problem that needs to be fixed. We cannot trust our quality systems enough. Now, of course, if you see one claim a year popping up for somebody mishandling something late in your logistics chain, you basically know what's happening. But when you see a rise in claims and you did not notice this in the defect rate in your factory and your quality system is not picking them up, that is a really big thing to work on for your next improvements. And also, if you see that the things that caused, so the defects that caused the claim, should have been detected, and this is something to take into account during your analysis, these claims that we see, should they have been known, then we really need to revisit our systems, our procedures and machines checking for these defects. Or is it something that we're also not really testing for? So is this maybe so rare that we chose not to test for it, or we cannot? If you then see a lot of claims coming in from a source that you are not testing for, you have to reevaluate that choice. Do we put systems into place to start testing for it, or is it still too expensive to make this more or less full continuous check on this type of defects? In any case, of course, solve the defects themselves within your processes, but there is always this secondary discussion also when we have claims. What do we do in our detection systems, and how much extra effort and thus money are we going to spend to make sure that we keep our problems in-house? Because of course the best way not to have claims is not to have any defects at all, but this is not always realistic. We need to at least make sure that we keep them in-house. That will of course satisfy our customer better because they are not getting our problems, but also it will make it a lot easier to analyze those defects and to act quickly and to improve the systems and the problems that we see popping up. So very important to have your quality system detect any problems within your factory, as that drives continuous improvement and making more money. So these are the basics of how you handle claims within your material and quality loss deployment. Let me know in the comments what your experiences are in putting claims within all those more financial types of losses. Is it accepted? How do you make sure it also gets all the attention it deserves? And that is quite a lot of attention. And of course, if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button. For now, I wish you the best of luck improving, but first analyzing the claims and your quality system. But of course, as always, enjoy that improvement journey.